Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. So on the south side as the blue NoCOGuy, we have NoCOGuy. So on the north side as the red Will, we got Ari32. When it comes to COs, Will of course is unchanged to the cartridge counterpart. Standard boarding cost 230, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. Their ground direct units get plus 20 in offense. And of course, for the super part, plus 2 in range. NoCO is NoCO. But, it says boarding cost, I never really thought about it. Boarding cost 0, does that mean the unit can still be loaded by CO, or that just means it's just a placeholder just because clicking on the unit, on the pop-up. So I sort of wonder about that. Either way, this is a 3-base map, 1 airport, 1 seaport. And of course, the number of properties already captured, so including a bunch of temporary airports, both as the medium bike. I wonder. Oops, I actually hit a button. Can I see if a player can seal a unit here? Doesn't look like it. Let's see if I can do it on Will. I'm not sure if observer mode I can. I don't think I can do that from Observer mode. Or... Oh well, never mind. Starting to capture the airport now. And we do have now a tank deployed by the NoCOGuy. So, generally, simply put, playing Final CO is a clearly big handicap. So Will just has straight up a huge advantage of just having good, probably this tank that's going to be CO'd relatively soon. Bike, mech, and infantry. Will just CO his tank there. Of course, has a nice extra bit of firepower. Battlecopter now pulled in the field. Infantry, and bike. Will probably need to counter over anti-air and or duster. Not enough for a duster, so anti-air. I think as well, if Will charges forward and hits that tank, he will be in range of the battlecopter down south. So, anti-air, infantry, just parks on top of a city. That's probably a good idea. Will's going to get a pretty good capture wave next turn. Oh, doesn't drop that one. And interrupt that one. It's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but just 3 next turn. Will can charge forward if his tank hit this tank here, but the anti-air will just soon follow and fight coverage and retaliation. Gets it down to 1 health. Tank, and infantry. And does strike Will's command tank there. But the anti-air should be able to retaliate, and there's also 2 tanks here, so Will's starting to lose some ground in the middle. Gets a bit of energy from that, 26 energy. It's seeing it here. It's the capping squad. Now we got a trio tanks in the center. Will has only one tank that's healthy enough to contest with. The other tanks could push his way forward. Got tank, battlecopter, mech. NoCOGuy feels in a bit stronger position. Else has more valor in the field. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Does have entry in there. Battlecopter push forward, not being aggressive just yet. Battlecopter, tank, anti-air, and mech. Does merge the two tanks there. Got a mech. Battlecopter, tank, and mech with another anti-air. Down south, this tank needs to get down there, start protecting. Good headway up here. The tank does have a nice escort of infantry, so the tank up north is having trouble. Bike, battlecopter, mech, and another tank. Pulls back some units there. Keeping distance away from this tank. Good kills there. Does trap this tank down there, making it a bit more easy for Red to deal with that tank. But there's also another tank still here. But we've got more tanks and mechs over here. Artillery, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Tank, battlecopter, anti-air, and mech. Merges that infantry quite a bit there. Gets the first strike on both those tanks. Luckily, the missile platform did absorb a bit of damage for blue here. And there is the battlecopter up here. Could get a good strike on these. Anti-air can only reach so far. Up north, another battlecopter, more tanks here by Will. Will's trying to stabilize both the flanks, while the center is still a bit of a stalemate. NoCOGuy is doing quite well with NoCO. He does find a spot there where the battlecopter's going to be safe in anti-air. Tank, bike, and battlecopter. And Will's pushing forward quite nicely down south. Tank, battlecopter, artillery. Blue has quite a bit of force here. One anti-air to deal with the battle copter. So if blue or red's able to strike the anti-air, then he has a bit more free reign with it. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Additionally, it's 25,000 income versus 26,000 income. Finding some good angles over here. Strikes the artillery. So the anti-air will strike it for quite a bit of damage in return. Blue's just charging way forward in the center. Still one despicable neutral property, and that'd be the city in the top right corner. Takes out one battlecopter, takes out two battlecopters. Pops a superpower, got enough power charge for those kills. Plus human range is going to be critical for these mechs, able to sprint across the land, strike these units. Left tank says finish off the tank. Here's another kill there. And with that, blue's largely lost quite a bit of momentum over here. One property may still be flipped. Nope, does not get flipped. And looks like he's just playing a bit more defensively up north, which makes sense. Tank, battlecopter, bike. Will's command tank has took quite a bit of damage there. And will go down, so probably see the tank or the battlecopter up north. Up north, blue is making some great headway. Another tank. Battlecopter, tank, and bike. Capture the city up north, now that have equal income. CEO's tank over here, and pulling back these forces. Great gain sounds south for red though. Will is also in the battlecopter. Good hits there. Does strike another tank. Nexus gets some good hits there as well. Good counterattack down south, though some of these properties are starting to be flipped. Anti-air gets struck. Tank, bike, and battlecopter. Good shots up there, stabilizing this flank, though he's starting to go into these properties here. Does not take the battlecopter there. The battlecopter is taking out the rest of the tanks. He drops that capture down south. More tanks being reinforced in the center, which is a little bit. Needs probably anti-air to go down here. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Does get some good damage. Tank, anti-air, and tank. And serve 107 versus 92, so Will's slightly behind. But here comes a pretty sizable counterattack. Though nothing much to stop all these battlecopters. Another anti-air back here. Anti-air strike anti-air. Will has enough for a superpower. That could be very useful. A +2 range. Good hits in center. Does not take out that mech there. Tank, battlecopter, bike, and anti-air. Does strike the tank down south. Battlecopter just strike the tank. Tank does hit the mech. Hits the battlecopter. Infantry, battlecopter, tank, and tank. Does finish off that battlecopter there. Got 2 tanks so far, which can cause a bit of trouble. Of course, he can always pop his superpower next turn. Bit of a join. That tank, let's see, that is a miss on C, so mechs cannot go on that tile to hit it, so only 2 tiles here. Sacks the mech there, puts some rounds into the battlecopter. Right now, Will does 108. NoCOGuy has 77. Tank, battlecopter, bike, and mech. Joins there to get the veteran C on a full health anti-air. And now got a full bomber by Will with bike and mech support. The properties are now even 26,000, so they have flipped the cities in the corner. Duster, mech, and anti-air. A little bit of stalemate, going a little bit slowly. Will does have a superpower he can start edging forward with a threat of +2 movement range. Tank. Some hits there, trying to flip some property in the center now. T-copter, straight forward. That battlecopter could have moved back to a temporary port to get some healing going. Infantry, bike, tank, and battlecopter. Anti-air, medium tank, and tank. And pops a superpower, so it looks like now he's going to try to end the game. Gets a good shot there in the tank. Tank on tank. Gets a good hit there. Battlecopter to strike the bike there. Takes the bike entirely. Anti-air finish off the battlecopter. The bomber still exists, which is in range of this medium tank. Nukes a regular tank. Hits the anti-air. And regular tank hits the regular tank. Finish off the regular tank there. Dust Turtle could get a hit on the bomber, but there's some stuff in front of it. Finish off that bike there. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. And NoCOGuy has resigned. This is Android saying, keep watching, and on to the next replay.